my confident and generous Leo friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Leo, there's a sensation this week of sitting in a familiar room while the light outside keeps changing. You might find yourself appreciating all you have, even as a subtle, persistent question lingers. What is the cost of comfort? It's not dissatisfaction, not really. Instead, it's a gentle restlessness, as though your heart is caught between enjoying the rewards of your efforts and wondering if there's something deeper waiting to be felt. There's pride in what you've built, but maybe a slight ache underneath, a wish to feel truly seen or understood beyond appearance. Perhaps you sense a gap opening between how others perceive your strength and what you quietly carry inside. The week begins with the quiet drama of abundance, the warmth of your own company, the satisfaction of your achievements, and that unspoken desire not for more things, but for a richer experience of self. Not everything you want is missing, some of it is simply not fully lived in yet. There's a sense that you're holding your breath, waiting for a moment to exhale and allow yourself to feel the fullness of your own presence. You stand in the center of your life this week, Leo, with the 9 of Pentacles reflecting your current inner state. It's a card that quietly nods toward self-sufficiency. You've worked hard, and there's a growing comfort in your routines, your surroundings, and the way you move through daily life. At times, you feel almost insulated, like your own accomplishments form a gentle barrier, keeping you safe and admired. There's beauty in how you've cultivated independence, in the way you trust your own judgment and find pleasure in things you've earned. Yet, as you look around, there's a pause. You notice the difference between being alone and being truly at peace. While the world sees your confidence, you might notice small cracks, moments where the silence stretches out, and you wonder who really knows how much effort it's taken to get here. There's a subtle tension between pride and vulnerability. On the outside, you appear composed, collected, and perhaps even enviable. Inside, though, a softer longing stirs, a wish for connection that feels as real and reliable as the comfort you've created for yourself. This isn't loneliness. It's more an awareness that fulfillment can start to feel flat if it's not shared or emotionally engaged. Your emotional posture is steady, but there's a current of curiosity. What would it be like to allow someone, or even yourself, to see you beyond your achievements? You sense that the next step isn't about acquiring more, but about opening a door to something deeper. The unspoken tension is not about lack, but about the gentle nudge to let warmth and vulnerability find their way into your carefully tended space. You're not at a crossroads, but at a quiet threshold, holding all your accomplishments in one hand and a silent invitation to emotional richness in the other. As this inner landscape unfolds, it naturally shapes the week ahead. The comfort you've created becomes the foundation for your next steps, but also the source of new questions. Because you are so grounded in what you've built, you're now able to notice where something is missing, not in the material sense, but in the emotional dimension. This awareness doesn't disrupt your life, but it does color the way you approach each moment. The more you lean into the safety of your routines, the more you notice the gentle pulse of desire for something more intimate, more nurturing. The stage is set for your path to shift in response to this quiet longing. Events begin to move around you, and the Queen of Cups steps forward as the spirit of your unfolding path. This week, the world seems to ask for a softer response from you, Leo. The pressures aren't loud or aggressive. They're woven into the interactions you have, the conversations that linger, the moments where you could choose to stay guarded or open just a little bit more. There's an invitation to notice how you respond to emotion, not only your own, but also those of others. Friction arises when the habit of self-reliance meets the need for emotional connection. Perhaps someone reaches out, or you sense vulnerability in someone close to you. Maybe you catch yourself feeling more sensitive than usual, reading between the lines, wanting to understand not just what is being said, but what is being felt. The momentum of the week builds around emotional honesty. You may be drawn into situations where a gentle touch, a kind word, or simply listening without judgment becomes more important than any solution you could offer. There's a quiet power here, the strength to hold space for emotion, to allow feelings to move through you without needing to control them. Yet this is not always comfortable. The pressure comes from resisting the urge to retreat behind your achievements, to measure your worth by what you can do rather than how you can connect. The path is shaped by these small, significant choices, each time you allow yourself to be moved to care, to respond with genuine feeling rather than performance. The Queen of Cups brings a compassionate current, asking you to let your empathy flow, even if it means facing your own unspoken needs. It's not about fixing, it's about allowing. As you navigate these subtle emotional tides, you may notice that the world feels softer, more open, and that you too are beginning to soften in response. The potential of the week doesn't simply arrive on its own. It grows in direct response to how you engage with these emotional invitations. If you move through this week aware of your need for connection and willing to let your guard down, even just a little, new possibilities quietly begin to unfold. Conscious engagement is the bridge between comfort and fulfillment. It's in the small moments, when you choose to share a feeling, to truly listen, or to let yourself be seen, that the texture of your experience changes. Without that conscious presence, the week could pass as just another display of strength. With it, something more satisfying becomes possible. When you meet the moment with openness, the 9 of Cups emerges as your potential. This is not a promise of happily ever after, but an invitation to discover how contentment deepens when you allow your emotional world to be part of the story. You may find yourself surprised by how good it feels to express a hope, admit a wish, or simply enjoy an honest exchange. Satisfaction this week isn't about achievement, it's about savoring the richness that comes from being emotionally present. The sense of fulfillment grows not from getting more, but from allowing yourself to experience more fully what is already here. There's a kind of quiet joy in realizing you can be both proud and tender, both accomplished and open. The 9 of Cups invites you to notice where your longing for something deeper is already being met, perhaps in ways you hadn't seen before. A warm conversation, a shared laugh, or a moment of genuine understanding. Growth here is gentle and real. It doesn't erase the tension or longing, it weaves them into a more complete sense of self. You realize that your capacity for happiness expands each time you welcome your own feelings, and the feelings of those around you without judgment or hurry. Contentment becomes a lived experience, not just an idea. Looking back across the week, all 3 cards form a gentle arc. You begin with the self-made comfort and independence of the 9 of Pentacles, noticing the subtle longing beneath the surface. Your path is shaped by the compassionate, emotionally attuned energy of the Queen of Cups, as you are invited to respond to the world with softness rather than armor. And your potential arrives with the 9 of Cups, asking you to savor the satisfaction that comes from honest connection and presence. The thread running through it all is the movement from pride to vulnerability to genuine contentment. The reassurance at week's end is this: you are not defined solely by what you achieve, but by how you allow yourself to feel and be felt. There is strength in letting your inner world be seen, and fulfillment in realizing that everything you've built can hold not only success, but also real emotional richness. By leaning into the soft spaces, You offer yourself a fuller, more satisfying experience of your own life. The quiet tension resolves not by doing more but by letting yourself be more present. You are enough, Leo, and this week you get to feel it in a new way. Actionable insights for Leo this week. Let yourself notice when a moment feels softer than usual and stay with that feeling for a breath. Try sharing a small wish or hope, even if it feels vulnerable. If you feel proud, see what it's like to add a touch of kindness to that pride. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I let myself feel what's here. Every effort I've made matters. My heart is safe with me. Connection brings out my true strength. I am full and I am enough. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.